Hi, welcome to this episode in Students' Union's Question Time series. I'm Sharif. I'm a third year student at LSE and I am on the Democracy Committee and will be chairing this debate, this hustings. And I'm talking to candidates running for positions in the upcoming elections. Today, I'm here with Gabriela and Rachel, who are running for the position of Women's Officer at the Students' Union. Hi guys, thanks for joining us from all over the world.
Hi.
So the structure today is very straightforward. I've got a collection of questions that I'm going to ask the candidates in just a minute, but I'm going to first ask the candidates in alphabetical order of their first name, starting with Gabriela and finishing with Rachel, to give a 30-second opening statement outlining their policies and why they'd make the best candidate. Is everyone ready to get started? Are there any questions before we get going?
No, that's fine.
Brilliant. So I'll ask everyone to mute their mics if they're not speaking. I'll call on people to speak when we get to questions. With that said, I'd like to ask Gabriela if you could give your statement. When you have 10 seconds left, I'm going to do this, so make sure you're seeing the screen, and I'll try and be fairly strict on timing, so apologies in advance if I cut you off. Okay?
No worries.
Brilliant. When you're ready.
Okay, my name is Gabriela Krol and I'm a candidate for the position of Women's Officer. I want to represent the views and interests of all women students at LSE, and I want to create an environment free from sexism and discrimination while working closely with other officers. Also, I would like to continue to support the provision of free menstrual products in all gender toilets and many more, such as Women's Week or setting a better support scheme for abuse victims. I would like to continue to be in everyday contact with women around LSE so I can get feedback and more ideas for a positive change. I think I'm a good candidate as I would like to be a representative of all of you, and I would like to listen to all the voices.
Thank you very much, Gabriela. Okay, Rachel, when you have a chance, please do be aware of the 30-second time gap as well. Go ahead.
Perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Fergusson and I'm standing for Women's Officer because I'm passionate about making LSE a safer, more inclusive and more supportive environment for women. And as President of the Intersectional Feminist Society this year, I was involved in setting up the LSE Consent Collective, and I'm committed to leading a student-designed approach to consent education that is holistic and intersectional. I'm also committed to creating an SU Women's Network, enabling greater collaboration on women's issues and inspiring future feminist leaders through activism workshops and training. Thank you very much, and vote for me.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I'll next be giving a statement from a candidate who wasn't able to come in, so I'm going to try and time myself while I'm doing this. It's going to be quite difficult. Bear with me a second. So, in order of fairness, I'm going to try and keep it within the time frame. Okay. Hi, I'm Kashav Gandhi, and I study finance at LSE. I'm running for the position of Women's Officer at the LSE SU. I firmly believe that we can achieve whatever we set our eyes on. Having a vision is very important as it guides our efforts in the right direction. What is even more important is that the broad vision of everyone in an institution is aligned. So let me start by talking about my vision. I envision a more welcoming atmosphere for current and incoming women at LSE. This institution is world famous for its diversity. It is about time that we make it famous for unity in diversity. I wish to work towards this goal by creating more opportunities for women to be involved in LSE's vibrant community. Secondly, I appreciate the fact that networking can play a vital role in building a successful career. I will invest my time and efforts in building a platform to connect female students and alumni so that we can help and support each other in our professional journeys. Additionally, by hosting frequent female panels on a broad range of issues, I hope to impart a strong sense of inspiration and can-do attitude. I wish to collaborate with teams like LSE Generate. I'm going to have to go through the rest of this because it is quite long, so apologies, Kashav. Would dream of spectacular International Women's Week at LSE, celebrate females at LSE and promoting fempreneurs. And she will live by the motto for, by, and of the students. She will do her best to stay connected with everyone at LSE, and towards that end, she will set up a direct pathway of reaching her. And she hopes that she can count on your support for this position. One life, one earth, let's make a difference. Thank you and kind regards, Kashav Gandhi. Apologies, Kashav. The statement was a bit long, but I think you wouldn't have known that it would have gone over the time frame. with that said, we're going to go into questions. So the way that's going to work is I'm going to start asking questions, and I will call on you intermittently. So I'll ask Rachel to answer the question first. Next question, I'll ask Gabriela. We're a bit pressed for time. I would appreciate if admin support could message me telling me when I should aim to end by. So I'm going to start with the most important questions first. Just bear with me a second. So historically, the Women's Officer has done a lot of work on consent and the prevention of sexual violence. Do you also have a plan to take this forward as candidates? Rachel, if you'd like to go first.
Hi, yeah, so obviously, as I mentioned in my brief speech, this year I was working closely with Laura Goddard and Ella Holmes, who was leading the Hands Off LSE campaign, and together we set up and facilitated the LSE Consent Collective, which is a student body that's interested in reforming LSE's culture and policies regarding sexual violence. I would like to continue this work of leading a student-designed approach to consent education, and ideally this would include demanding mandatory consent workshops for incoming students and other measures, as well as increasing the visibility of our zero tolerance message around campus.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Rachel. Candidates, please do, we are very stretched for time, so please do look out for the 10-second warning in the future if possible. I appreciate 30 seconds is a very short time though. Gabriela, when you're ready.
Yeah, so I totally agree with Rachel. So I think very important thing is to focus on having a safer environment at uni itself. So I think it's very important to talk openly about consent and sexual misconduct. And I think it's very, very important to work with other officers to ensure we have those workshops and we have the talk for actually men, because it's really important to have both like a two-way conversation. It's not only about women knowing about it, it's about everyone knowing about it.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Gabriela. The next question you'll be answering first. So I'm sure you're aware, but recently a union general motion was put forward by the current Women's Officer, but it didn't get enough votes to be quorate, meaning that it automatically failed. Why do you think LSE students are disengaged from these issues, and what will you do to improve engagement? Gabriela, if you'd like to go first when you're ready.
I think in general students lack engagement when they don't see a connection to a topic. So I think greater kind of like if we increase the connection with the topic, so we educate people more, then they will do it more. As well, if they see other people doing it, people follow. So I think if you educate people more and just increase the activism, and if you as an officer show that what's good and what you should be doing, what you should be supporting, I think a lot of people would follow and would support a lot of good causes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Rachel, when you're ready.
And yeah, so my answer is going to be pretty similar to Gabriela's. I think that the key way to sort of organise and gain support around a cause is to first of all raise awareness through sort of events around sort of why these issues are really important and why they're relevant for students at LSE. So I think sort of building momentum and activism around an issue before putting a motion to the students' union is sort of the key.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. We are exceptionally pressed for time. I'm going to try and ask one more important question before we wrap things up. Next, the last question is, how would you ensure that your approach is going to be intersectional?
So I think I would ensure my approach was intersectional at all times by making sure that the sort of the discourses that I was initiating or the issues that I was trying to organise around were inclusive of people from all backgrounds and identities, and I think that that would involve me reaching out to the the officers, the other SU officers, anti-racism, LGBT, etc., and also relevant societies, getting them on board, holding events, working with them on campaigns and initiatives.
Thank you very much. Gabriela, same question.
Yeah, I think it's very important to collaborate with other officers, part-time officers, to ensure all things that we obviously put forward are in line with objectives for women and other people who identify as women. And I think it's very important to just do everything with collaboration around the campus, and there's so many societies that try to work with women's issues, and I think it's so important to just collaborate and work on initiatives together, because I mean together we're a unity and we can empower and we can achieve way more.
Brilliant, thank you. Now for the final question, sorry again, we are stretched for time, but I made sure that we allotted 15 minutes to this, even though we are running over now. The last question is, if you had to come up with a phrase, not just a slogan that you're already using, but a phrase that sums up your campaign the best, what would that be? You can have a minute to think about it, and when you're ready, you can say it whenever you wish.
Well, my campaign slogan was inclusion, community and activism, and I think that is really what sums up my manifesto and my sort of personal ethos, which I would bring to the role and all the decisions that I would be making.
Thank you. Gabriela, when you're ready.
So I think obviously my slogan is very important, but I think a very good quote from Emma Watson, which is a really good as an example of feminism, feminist, it's gender equality is your issue too. So I think it's very important to do it both-sided. It's both women and men that have to obviously approach those problems.
Brilliant. Thank you both very much, and thank you to those at home who are watching this. Apologies for the very squished nature of this and for the fact that this all had to be done on Zoom. Thank you for making the necessary arrangements to make it. Best of luck to both the candidates, Rachel and Gabriela, and take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.